So in the last class, we learnt about the abode of Devi Mahatripura Sundari Lalitamba, and also we learnt as Kundalini Shakti how she moves around within this body through Kulapatha, Sushumna Nadi, and the 6 chakras, Mooladhara and Swadhisthana Chakra. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana Chakra. These two will be held as Granthi, knotted, Brahma Granthi. When it is pierced, she enters into Manipura Chakra and goes up to Anahata, where she breaks open the Vishnu Granthi, and then Vishuddhi Chakra and Agnya Chakra, as Rudra Granthi it is knotted, that will open up. So in Brahma Granthi, Swadhisthana and Mooladhara, in these two chakras, the reflex action kind of 4 animalistic instincts are knotted, because of which we are all carrying on the Jivatma kind of life. Once Kundalini Shakti is able to break open and comes to Manipura, which is like the visa officer, whether to go up or stay down itself as animalistic being. Manipura is like the bridge. Once Kundalini Shakti arises to Manipura, she moves up to Anahata, where this Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, is knotted with emotions, relationships, and the mind. Once that opens up, she moves on to Vishuddhi Chakra, where she gets the taste of what is Advaita, how she can come out of the Dvaitik Bhava here, and she gets a new breath of Advaita, and thus she moves still up, where the wisdom, the intellect, everything opens up, and she is able to go beyond to Sahasrara Chakra, which is the abode of Paramashiva, and there she spends time. And now let us see in the 10th one what happens there and how she comes back. That we are studying in the 10th shloka. Sudhadhara saraihi. Repeat after me. Sudhadhara saraihi. चरणयुगलान्तर्विगलितैः प्रपञ्चं सिञ्चन्ति पुनरपि
प्रपञ्चं सिञ्चन्ति पुनरपि
रसाम्नायमहसः
रसाम्नायमहसः
अवाप्य स्वां भूमिम्
अवाप्य स्वां भूमिम्
भुजगनिभमध्युष्ठवलयम्
भुजग
भुजगनिपमत्युष्टवलयम्
स्वमात्मानं कृत्वा स्वपिषि
ममात्मानं कृत्वा स्वपिषि
कुलकुण्डे कुहरिणी
कुलकुण्डे कुहरिणी
once again सुधाधारा सारैः
सुधाधारसारैः
चरणयुगलान्तर्विगलितैः
चरणयुगलान्तर्विगलितैः
प्रपञ्चं सिञ्चन्ति पुनरपि
प्रपञ्चं सिञ्चन्ति पुनरपि
रसाम्नायमहसः
रसाम्नाय महसः
अवाप्य स्वां भूमिम्
अवाप्य स्वां भूमिम्
भुजगनिभमध्युष्टवलयम्
भुजगनिभमध्युष्टवलयम्
स्वमात्मानं कृत्वा स्वपिषि
त्वमात्मानं कृत्वा स्वपिषि
कुलकुण्डे कुहरिणी
कुलकुण्डे कुहरिणी
सुधाधारा सारैः चरणयुगलान्तर्विगलितैः प्रपञ्चं सिञ्चन्ति पुनरपि रसाम्नायमहसः अवाप्य स्वां भूमिं भुजगनिभमध्युष्टवलयम् स्वमात्मानं कृत्वा स्वपिषि कुलकुण्डे कुहरिणी सुधाधारासारैः with continuous flow of nectar. Sudhadhara. Dhara is the continuous flow of the nectar. Charana yugalantar vigalitaihi. In between the 2 feet of Devi, who is staying here, she is making that nectar flow in the center through Sushumna Nadi. Charana yugalantar vigalitaihi. Prapancham sinchanti. Prapancha here is the whole body, which is made of 5 elements, which are stationed in the 5 chakras here, plus the manas here in the Agnya chakra. Prapancham sinchanti punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha, which is coming from the Chandra Mandala from here, that Sahasrara chakra. From there, where she is staying with Shiva, the union of Shiva and Shakti in Sahasrara chakra is producing that nectar, Sudha Dhara, and that is trickling down continuously through Sushumna Nadi. Prapancham sinchanti. So by showering that trickle of Sudha Dhara, she is energizing, rejuvenating all the 5 elements and the organs of the whole body. Avapya swam bhumim, and having reached her own abode, which is Mooladhara, bhujaga nibha madhyushtavalayam, and making herself as the snake, like the snake, swamatmanam kritva, converting herself, in the sense the Kundalini will come down all the way to her abode in Mooladhara chakra, and she converts herself as the snake, which is Swapishi Kulakunde Kuharini. It is sleeping with 3.5 coil, and she is sleeping there as Kuharini, like as if she is in the cave of Mooladhara Chakra. So what do we understand by this? As she comes down, both the left and the right side of the Sushumna Nadi gets rejuvenated, and all the 5 elements which are there in the body will also get rejuvenated with new energy in it. And once Kundalini Shakti has gone up and given that spandana to Shiva, and thus their union is creating that Sudha Dhara, and that is trickling down continuously, rejuvenating the seeker, sadhaka, with new energy, which is combined with the new consciousness in him, the new awareness. So once he has tasted that experience, from then onwards, even though Shakti, Kundalini Shakti comes down all the way to her abode in Mooladhara, his nervous system will have not the control. From there on, it is always the Sahasrara Chakra and the Sushumna Nadi, which is controlling the whole system of the body. Before that, it is the Ida and Pingala, both nadis, which are controlling the whole system of the human being. But once he has that experience of the union of Shiva and Shakti in Sahasrara, from then onwards, that seekers, the controlling center becomes Sahasrara Chakra. And thus, his perception of universe, his perception of self also changes quite a lot. He will be a new person with the new understanding, with the new awareness of Shiva and Shakti. People who have experienced, the sages, they have documented, when the seeker is bringing up that Kundalini Shakti up, there will be pressure in the head and the heat is created in the skull somewhere here, that it starts making it melt, and that secretion is trickling down as Sudhadhara. And through Kechari Mudra, they hold back that secreted Sudha and they send it back, hold it back before it enters the digestive system. So that is how they preserve the energy and the awareness, Shiva Shakti, in a new way. Here, this Chidananda Lahari, the very first thing what happens is when there is connection between the Kundalini Shakti and Shiva, the first thing happens is the wave of Chit and Ananda, which is produced. As a result of that, the Sudha is produced and it trickles down. And that is the experience. When they feel that experience, they say, I felt as if I'm drenched in rain. That rain is nothing but the drenching in that Sudha Dhara. And some other people also feel the vibration which comes like shudder of the body. That's another kind of experience. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says it's not necessary that it has to go up always in one straight line and come down. It can go whirling or it can go zigzag and come down in zigzag manner also. So it depends on individual sadhaka, and thus they experience this union of Shiva and Shakti in Sahasrara Chakra. The next one. For this, the mandala is beautiful form of Devi sitting on the lap of Shiva in close embrace. Hala, virility, purification of body, mind, and intellect. चतुर्भिः श्रीकण्ठैः
चतुर्भिः श्रीकण्ठैः
शिवयुवतिभिः पञ्चभिरपि
शिवयुवतिभिः पञ्चभिरपि
प्रभिन्नाभिः शम्भो नवभिरपि
प्रभिन्नाभिः शम्भो नवभिरपि
मूलप्रकृतिभिः
मूलप्रकृतिभिः
चतुश्चत्वारिंशत्
चतुश्चत्वारिंशत्
वसुदलकलाश्रत्रिवलय
वसुदलकलाशित्रिवलय
त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव
त्रिरेखाभिः तव
त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव
त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव
Can we please have
शरणकोणा परिणताः
शरणकोना परिणताः
Alaka, sorry to interrupt. Can everyone mute? Only Alaka and a designated person, please unmute, otherwise it becomes a problem. Sorry, Alaka.
She is muted. Alkavare mute ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
चतुर्भिः श्रीकण्ठैः
चतुर्भिः कण्ठैः
शिवयुवतिभिः पञ्चभिरपि
शिवयुवतिभिः पञ्चभिरपि
प्रभिन्नाभिः शम्भो नवभिरपि
प्रभिन्नाभिः शम्भो नवभिरपि
मूलप्रकृतिभिः
मूलप्रकृतिभिः
चतुश्चत्वारिंशत्
चतुश्चत्वारिंशत्
वसुदलकलाश्रत्रिवलय
वसुदलकलाश्रत्रिवलय
त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव
त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव
शरणकोणाः परिणताः
शरणकोणाः परिणताः
चतुर्भिः श्रीकण्ठैः शिवयुवतिभिः पञ्चभिरपि प्रभिन्नाभिः शम्भो नवभिरपि मूलप्रकृतिभिः चतुश्चत्वारिंशत् वसुदलकलाश्रत्रिवलय त्रिरेखाभिः सार्धं तव शरणकोणाः परिणताः. This is one of the most important shlokas which is giving Shri Yantra. Do you remember I told you about the three things which are important in Tantra Shastra, which is Yantra, Tantra and Mantra. This shloka is talking about the Yantra, the geometrical figure, which is holding, bearing, arresting the Shakti in it. So, Sri Chakra is very much the form of Devi, where she is reciting all the 24 hours for millennium of years. So, Sri Chakra is always live Devi. Just like I keep telling, we are experiencing, worshipping Devi in the form of mantra. Until now, we were doing through mantra. Here, we are worshipping her through mantra as well as yantra. So what is it? How is it done? Chaturbhi Shrikantaihi Shiva Yuvatibhi Panchabhirapi Prabhinnabhi Shambhoho Navabhirapi Moola Prakritibihi. Here, these two lines are talking about the 9 primordial triangles, Moola Prakriti, which are 9 in number. Out of those 9 triangles, which are there in Sri Chakra, 4 are called Shrikantha. Shrikantha is the Shiva 4 triangles. Shiva Yuvati are the other 5 triangles. So altogether, there are only 9 triangles in Sri Chakra. I will show you later. Chatushchatvarimshat. In that manner, these 9 Moola Prakriti triangles are forming altogether Chatushchatvarimshat, 44 triangles. Vasudala. Sri Chakra has the lotus enclosure, which is of 8 petals. 8 petals here is Vasudala. He has not used the word Ashta. He says Vasu. Vasu means the Ashta Vasus, which are the deities of 8 directions. Kalashra, that is the 16 kalas. Shodasha kala, we say, right? Those 16 kalas are making another bigger enclosure, Avarana. Trivalaya, and there are 3 circles as well around that. Trirekabhi Sardham. Along with all these things, there are 3 walls which are in square rectangular shape with 4 openings, which is called Bhupura. Tava Sharana Konaha Parinataha. All these triangles are making as your abode. So, what do we understand with this? If you look at it, there are only 9 triangles, main triangles. 5 triangles of Shiva Yuvati, that is Shakti, are facing upward. And then 4 would be Shiva, that is Sri Kantaihi. Those 4 will be facing downward. Because it is interlocked, juxtapositioned, it is giving rise to 43 triangles altogether. Plus, there is one automatically created triangle in the center, which is called the center Bindu. Now, along with this, you can see the 8-petaled enclosure, and then surrounded by another 16-petaled circle. After that, there are Trivalaya, there are other circles. Here it is the Bhupura, which is in this shape. So, when this Bindu is meditated upon, that is where Shiva and Shakti, both of them are involved in the 5 Panchakrityas, which are they? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirodhana, Anugraha. So that is what happens here. Because of that union, there is Bindu here in the center where Shiva is there, and Shakti combining with him in the Bindu, Nada is produced. And that Nada, Om, is giving rise to many other Bijaksharas, which are radiating and putting the web like the whole Vishwa. So, and it is held in this Bhupura, which represents the earth. Now, this whole thing, Sri Chakra, is the abode of Sri Mata Mahatripura Sundari, as well as her body also. And thus, here we see both Brahmanda and Pindanda and their relationship with one another, how they are interacting with one another, all are here in this Sri Chakra. So there's so much of correlation between this Sri Chakra and how it is working in our bodies as well. So if you go into Khadgamala Stotra, you will get the clear picture of in what all forms of energy bundles she is present here, along with the counterpart as Bhairava, and also the assistants as Yogini. You will come to know in each triangle and also in this Bhupura where they are stationed. And thus we see Navavarana Sri Chakra, which are they? Bhupura is the outermost, and then comes the lotus, 16-petaled lotus, 8-petaled lotus, and then 5 of the triangles as Avaranas, and then one more in the center as the triangle, and the Bindu, which is very much inside. So all these 9 are called Navavarana. And in meditation, when we enter from out Bhupura to the center, it is called Samhara Chakra. When the movement is from Bindu outward, it is called Srishti Chakra. So that is where the difference happens between Samaya Marga and Kaula Marga. So this is the general idea of the Sri Chakra, who is very much present in this Sri Chakra as the abode, and also the Sri Chakra as her body. When it is in that flat form like this, it is called Sri Chakra when the consciousness has not yet converted itself as matter, which is Meru. The evolution of the consciousness to matter, which is this Prapancha. So before that happens, it is like Sri Chakra. Once that evolution becomes the involution, that means all the triangles, everything is drawn back into that Bindu, that involution. Matter converting itself back into the consciousness. Even then, it is the Sri Chakra. So we can see that before the manifestation as matter, after the manifestation of matter is consumed back, annihilated back as consciousness, it will be Sri Chakra. Once the evolution happens, the center portion, the Bindu, if we lift it up, you see the Meru. It is the same Sri Chakra. When it is flattened, it is Sri Chakra. When the Bindu is lifted up, it gives rise to the 3D form of Meru, which is the representation of the whole world. And I read in one of the articles which says that when the light beam is put on the whole world, it gives rise to the figure of Sri Chakra when it traced. And also, when Omkara, the sound Om, is fed to tonoscope, we get the figure of Sri Chakra cleanly coming up on that. All these things are available on YouTube. Maybe you can look into that. It will give you a very clear picture. Even to understand what the details of this Sri Chakra, if you go to Khadgamala meditation, they have done quite a good job where you get the idea what the Sri Chakra is. And each triangle, 43 out, and the center one is the 44th. These triangles are the very much part and parcel of each individual, which is made of 36 tattvas plus 7 dhatus. So which are those 7 dhatus which we all have? Rakta, that is blood; mamsa, the flesh; fat; medha, nerves; snayu, bones; asti, and marrow, majja, semen, shukra. So these are the 7 dhatus and 36 tattvas from which we all have taken birth. And also how the whole Vishwa is created. It is given in this, the evolution of 36 tattvas. Shiva Shakti, giving rise to Ichha, Jnana and Kriya Shakti. All this together is bringing down to Maya. And that Maya is using Vidya Tattva, which are 5 in number. That is Kala, Vidya, Raga, Kala and Niyati. They give rise to Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha will stay as Purusha in the manifested world, and this Prakriti is giving rise to Panchabhutas, Panchatanmatras, and the Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, that is Anthakarana, and the 10 Indriyas, 5 Jnanendriya and 5 Karmendriyas. So all together would be 36 tattvas, which are there very much, and the 7 dhatus. All these are represented here. So, being the students of Saundarya Lahari, doing puja to this Sri Chakra with bhakti is one thing. To get connected to Sri Chakra, who is very much alive, in what way we can take guidance from this Sri Chakra, that we can keep on getting it as we meditate, contemplate on Sri Chakra. I will tell you a few of the things which can be followed. In Sri Chakra, the one is Para Prakriti, which is very much the center triangle. And then the 8 are Apara Prakriti, that is 5 elements, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara. These are 8 Apara Prakriti. So there are 9 triangles. And what do we understand with this? No doubt, it has given rise to Nada and Kala, the Prapancha, which is nothing but the game, play of sound and light, Nada and Kala. And we can understand the Sri Chakra is giving chance for both Dvaita Bhava kind of worship, Advaita kind of worship as well. When a seeker is centered here in the Bindu, he sees that all these 42 here and the 43rd triangle, all are moving constantly, being in Jagat. Because he is stationed in the center, he feels the movement in Sakshi Bhava as a witness. So he is just experiencing the world as his own creation as Shiva Shakti. Suppose I am stuck in one of the triangles, then also I can pray this Bindu. Oh Shiva Shakti, please help me out to come out of this triangle. And if you observe it, each triangle has opposite another triangle, which is equal to it. It is equidistant from the center. It is like as if it is mirrored. Each triangle has opposite. So what does it say? If we are stuck in one triangle, if it is happiness, we are sure that there is another sorrow one quite opposite of that. So if we are stuck in one of the triangles, then we should know that we are able to see the reflection of that in a different way. If we have the viveka that from the center, both the triangles are equidistant with equal impact, then we will have the wisdom to take both happiness and sorrow, cold and heat, all the dualities with equal pinch of experience. And because it is chakra, it keeps moving. So if we are getting stuck in any of the triangles, we are sure to be crushed in the moment. If we go to the center and station ourselves there, that is the safest place where we will not be tormented by this movement of the chakra, because we are safe in the center. And also, because we are in the center, we are taking all the triangles with equal involvement. So the whole world, the whole life experience becomes a kind of peaceful shanti, and it will be filled with ananda, because we know the whole picture, the macro view, because we are in the center. So we become kalatita, deshatita, gunatita, and sarvajnani as well. If you are able to concentrate here, meditate upon this center where both Shiva and Shakti are stationed. So this is one big learning which we all can take from the way Sri Chakra has evolved herself. And also the beauty, there are only 9 triangles, but just because of the positioning, it is giving rise to the illusionary 43 triangles. Moola Prakriti is only 9, the 9 triangles. So, what do we understand? It is Jagat is Maya, Brahman is Satya. That Brahma Satya is very much the Bindu. It will never change. Bindu is constant and it is Satya. Whereas there is movement in the triangles and it can be annihilated, taken back into the Bindu. So, Jagan, Maya, which is 9, giving the illusion of 43 triangles. And even if one triangle is just tilted or moved, all other triangles will also get fallen off. So see the way it is structured, because it is interlocked, it gives the impression that it is very sturdy and firm and eternal, and the truth. Like we see the 43 triangles, but are there in reality 43 triangles? No, it is only 9 triangles. So it is mithya as well as maya maya. Whereas Bindu is Satya and Nitya, both in this Sri Chakra as. And also we can understand that Sri Chakra, it is made in such a way that the impact of Maya is Akhanda Mandalakara. There is no way we can go out of it, but we will be stuck in the chakra. The only way out is to go to the center and dissolve in that Shiva Shakti so that we are not in the circle of that Maya. And the mandala for this Sri Chakra is Sri Chakra herself. Phala, removal of sterility, both physical and mental, to beget progeny. For old people, Jnanarjana itself is like progeny. Intricate problems being solved with this mandala. त्वदीयं सौन्दर्यं
त्वदीयं सौन्दर्यं
तुहिनगिरिकन्ये तुलयितुम्
तुहिनगिरिकन्ये तुलयितुम्
कवीन्द्राः कल्पन्ते कथमपि
कवीन्द्राः कल्पन्ते कथमपि
विरिञ्चिप्रभृतयः
विरिञ्चिः प्रभृतयः
यदा लोकौत्सुक्यात्
यदा लोकौत्सुक्यात्
अमरललनायान्ति मनसा
अमरललनायान्ति मनसा
तपोभिर्दुष्प्रापामपि
तपोभिर्दुष्प्रापामपि
गिरिशसायुज्य पदवी
गिरिशसायुज्य पदवीम्
तदीयं सौन्दर्यं तुहिनगिरिकन्ये तुलयितुम् कवीन्द्राः कल्पन्ते कथमपि विरिञ्चिप्रभृतयः यदा लोकौत्सुक्यात् अमरललनायान्ति मनसा तपोभिर्दुष्प्रापामपि गिरिशसायुज्य पदवी. त्वदीयं सौन्दर्यं, ओ महात्रिपुर सुंदरी. त्वदीयं सौन्दर्यं, your beauty. तुहिनगिरि कन्ये, O daughter of Himavan Raja. Tulaitum, to compare your beauty. Kavindrah kalpanthe, kathamapi. Somehow the Kavindras, the greatest poets, the greatest of all poets, even they somehow they try to imagine. Kathamapi kalpante. Virinchi prabhrutayaha, including Virinchi, Brahma, and many other gods, deities like Saraswati. They all try to compare you with something, objects, to tell about your beauty. To compare, they are trying to imagine things, but they are not able to. They can only imagine that there can be objects with which we can compare the beauty of Mahatripura Sundari. Yada lokautsukhyat Amaralalana yanti manasa. Yada lokautsukhyat. With so much of eagerness to look at your beauty, just to peep into the beauty of your self as Mahatripura Sundari. Amaralalana yanti. All the Amaralalanas, the heavenly damsels, they are all running. They are all going to, through their mind, tapobhir dushprapamapi. They are going to that Shiva to have Girisha Sayujya, to have become one with Shiva, who cannot be attained even through greatest tapas. Tapobhir dushprapamapi. Even that Girisha is not easy to get. Even after so much of tapas, one cannot get access to Shiva. And these Amaralalanas, the heavenly damsels, they are trying their level best through their mind to have or to become one with Shiva, so that they can hope to have a glimpse at your beauty. It says a lot. O Tuhinagiri Kanye, O Devi, to compare your beauty with something, the greatest poets like Brahma, many other deities, they all try their level best. But at the most, they can only think that they are imagining, but they can never get any solid thing to compare with. What do we understand by this? Shankaracharya, who is visualizing Devi, she is not with the flesh and blood and the bones like the matter, what we all have. So, Devi, who is churned through the pure consciousness, Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta, that Devi, who is the very much source of beauty, she is taking the divine form. Naturally, no one can have an object equal to that beauty. Whatever we are able to see in this world, which are so beautiful to all the five senses, they are so impure in their beauty, they have come down many steps down. So when we have only these things to compare with, how can we be fair enough to compare with that beauty which Devi Mahatripura Sundari is? Not only that, it is not possible even to describe avarnaniya. Devi's Saundarya is not at all possible to be described in words. She is beyond words, because her Saundarya is emitting in so many different ways with superlative beauty. Because that Mahatripura Sundari is the source of purity, the source of pure energy, and her interaction is with pure consciousness, which is Paramashiva. So when that is the state of their existence, how can we have anything to compare with? So she is Avarnaniya Sundari. Even Brahma, who is the creator of Vedas, which is nothing but the knowledge. And even Kavi is the one who is highly knowledgeable, Sarvagnya. Because of that jnana, he can create the world of words, another world of words, through his imagination, through his vision. He is creating the poetry. So he also is equally a creator. To be a creator, one has to be extremely intelligent. That is why Ganapati is worshipped in the beginning as Kavindra. So Devi's Saundarya is beyond words, beyond any comparison. Yada Lokot Sukyat Amaralalana. And as it is, the Amaralalanas are extremely beautiful. Rambha, Urvashi, Tilottama, all these people are known for their beauty, known for their grace. And these Amaralalanas are so eager to see, at least to have one darshan of Devi's beauty. But they are not given the entry because they are not as pure as Shiva. Shiva, that Paramashiva, is the only one who can bear, is possible to hold the beauty of Devi Mahatripura Sundari. Because of that purity in him, Paramashiva, who is pure consciousness, he is able to experience, he is able to bear the beauty of pure energy. And thus, Devi is available only for Paramashiva. So these Amaralalanas, who are having so much of eagerness to see her beauty, to go close to her, they are thinking, through thought, they are thinking, if I become Sayujya, one with Shiva, full union with Shiva, I can have the view of her beauty. So they are all trying to go to Shiva. But is it ever possible? Shiva, Paramashiva, even after so much of tapas, it's not possible. Dushprapamapi. He cannot be attained. So they are stuck. It is like a good understanding between them. These Amaralalanas are we also, we as human beings, we as sadhakas, we as devotees, we want to go to Shakti because she is way high up. We think we can go to Shiva, but we won't get the entry to Shiva unless we have Sayujya with Devi, because she is the one who is Shiva Jnana Pradayini. See how they're protecting one another. They have a very good circle within themselves as Shiva Shakti. So, if at all I want to see the beauty of Shakti, no doubt it is possible only for Shiva, as he is the only one who is capable and who can bear the experience of her beauty. So for that, I have to become one with Shiva. To become one with Shiva, I have to have the grace of Shakti. Without the grace of Shakti, who is Shiva Jnana Pradayini, Dakshinamurti Rupini, without her grace, how can I even think of going directly to Shiva? Being a devotee, she is the one who is holding, reigning, bestowing us Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, everything is in her hands. So if at all I want to wash off all my impurity, I have to surrender totally to her. Once I surrender to her totally, she will say, I grace you, I bless you to go towards Shiva. She shows the marga, path to have union with Shiva. Then we can experience the beauty of Shakti through Shiva. And also one more thing we can understand through this shloka is divinity. Satyam Shivam Sundaram, divinity is possible only to the realm of experience, not to the intellect, not to the mind. We have to use it as only instrument, but not to the words, intellectual words. It is not possible. It has to be experienced. And we are finding so much of comfort and pleasure in enjoying that Devi who has manifested herself as this world. We are ensnared and we are satisfied with enjoying the world with 5 senses. So that itself is a big hurdle to come out, to go further towards getting her grace. So as a devotee, as a seeker, we have to have the nice rapport with Devi, who will take care of the whole thing as her own child. Mandala for this is Devi's beautiful form, Kala, excellence in poesy, eloquence, making dumb person speak. So if we look into the Kala, we can understand the excellence in poesy and eloquence. Talking, making conversation, communication is one of the most important aspect of a human being. Hanuman, with his greatest eloquence, he handled many of the situations which could have turned out to be the most worst thing which can happen in Ramayana. But because of his Chatur Buddhi, eloquence, he handled many of the situations in a very good way. And that eloquence we human beings also need. And thus this shloka is really helpful if we can do the mandala on it. And all of us should be the poets. It is not that just the word kavi, we are saying it, it doesn't mean that it is only for the poets. Each one of us need that skill in poetry, because kavi is the one who knows everything, so that you can create a good world. So as sadhaka also, I need to be in good world. For that, I have to be a good kavi, because I am the one who is projecting the world. I am the one who is projecting my world around me. So I need to be a good kavi. Naram Vashiyamsam
Naram Varshiyamsam
Nayana Virasam Narma Sujadam
Nayana Virasam Narmasujadam
Tavapanga Loke Patitam
Tavapangaloke patitam
Anudhavanti Shatashah
Anudhavanti shatashah
Galadveni Bandhaha
Galadveni bandhaha
Kujakalash Visrastasichaya
Kuchakalasha visrastasichaya
Hatatruthyat Kanchyo Vigalita
Hathatrudyat kancho vigalita
Dukula Yuvatayah
Dukula yuvatayah
Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narma Sujadam Tavapanga Loke Patitam Anudhavanti Shatashah Galadveni Bandhaha Kujakalash Visrastasichaya Hatatruthyat Kanchyo Vigalita Dukula Yuvatayah. So here Shankaracharya is describing Devi's Apanga Kataksha, the side glance, and its power once again. Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam. An old man who has lost all the erotic powers in his eyes, and he is so weak and he has become Narmasu Jadam. He has lost all sensual essence in his self. Tavapanga Loke Patitam. The minute your side glance has fallen on him, that old man, Anudhavanti Shatashah, hundreds of women run behind him. The two how? Galadveni Bandhaha. They have opened their hair. And that means that they don't have any of the ornaments on their head or the flowers. They have just opened it fully. Kucha Kalasha Visrasta Sichaya. And because the upper garment has come out, it is showing their breasts. Hatatrutyat Kancho, their girdle is at once broken or taken out. Vigalita Dukula Yuvatayaha, the robe which they are wearing has slipped down. So this is the literal meaning. Should we stop at this and say, my goodness, Shankaracharya is supposed to be a sannyasi, born sannyasi. How come his mind has gone into explaining this kind of poetry? But he is telling the truth of this iha, the worldly affairs, how it goes. When the side glance of Devi, which is so fast, quick, and little, even with that, an old man who has lost everything, in the sense, the eyes are so virasa, without any rasa in it. Narmasu jadam, the whole body has become so weak and not attractive at all. And that type of person will be able to attract hundreds of women running behind him. The two ready to be experienced by him, enjoyed by him. Like that, they're all running behind. That is what happens when there is a beautiful, very handsome man. No doubt, the eyes of all the 100 women will go on him. But is that what Shankaracharya is telling? He has gone way beyond this literal meaning. Naram Varshiyamsam, Nayana Virasam. Naram Varshiyamsam, here, the old man is Prabuddha. Prabuddha means, Buddha means one who is enlightened. Prabuddha means one who is enlightened with the experience of the life and the knowledge he has acquired all these years. So, with the whole knowledge of the universe, Ishvara, Devi, and his own self, naturally his eyes will not be towards this world. His liking, desires will not be towards this world at all. So it has become virasa, without any rasa in it, juice in it, in the sense, without any attraction towards all these things. He has become virasa, towards the world. So his eyes are virasa. And Prabuddha, Prabuddhalaya, for old age homes, they keep the name Prabuddhalaya. Prabuddha means the old, means one who is enlightened. Prabuddha. So that's another word for Prabuddha, Jnani. So instead of saying Jnani, he's using the word Naram Varshiyamsam, which is true. Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam. Tava Panga Loke. When your Krupa Kataksha is on that Prabuddha who is already enlightened, naturally he will be attracting so many siddhis, which are in the form of beautiful women. So here that women are nothing but the siddhis. But his eyes are virasa. He is not interested in the siddhis, but they are interested in him. Because siddhis are also the living entities. So naturally, those living entities as siddhis would want to be experimented, want to be experienced by great jnanis like Prabuddha. So they are all running to him. How are they running? Ready to be experienced by him, ready to be experimented by him. Many other seekers, they do tapas for so many years to get particular siddhis. So they have to do the tapas to get the siddhis. But here, because he is Prabuddha, these siddhis are saying he doesn't have to do any more tapas. I want to be experimented by this jnani. So let me go readily available for him to experiment or experience or execute the siddhis. That is how they are all running. And Galadveni Bandhaha, what does it mean? The hair, it is the literal meaning. How do we put the veni? 3 venis we take and we intertwine it. So when we do that, we are bandha, we are binding it. Veni means which is plaited. So it is the triputis, the 3 kalas, past, present, future. Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti. 3 gunas, Rajo, Tamas and Sattva. So all these, when they are combined together, 3 puti as combined, we come down to this samsara as jivatmas. Because the 3 kala are present in our mind, we are stuck in that triputi. Because we go through the 3 avasthas, we are stuck in that avastha box. When Galat Veni Bandhaha, Galat means taken out, opened up. When that triputi is opened up, that means no more he is in the binding. So Siddhi is going ready to be experimented by him. And of course, Kucha Kalasha Visrista Sichaya. So here that Kucha Kalasha, the breasts which are like the pots, Kalasha, what is it having? The real Jnana. Once that Avarana is gone, the robe is taken out. Avarana, the veiling which we are having. Naturally, the Jnana of the self will be revealed. So even in that way, they are readily going for him to be experienced. And Hata Trityat Kanchyo, the binding of all the 3 shariras, what we are having as binding. At once it opens up and gives way for the Prabuddha to realize and experience him as a free, vast, unlimited being. So that is the deeper meaning one can get through these words. And Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam. Once a person becomes Jnani because of the Apanga Kataksha of Devi, naturally all the commoners, the ignorant people or innocent people, they run to him in thousands to get that knowledge from him. Isn't it? And because of that jnana, all these ignorant, innocent people who want to grab the knowledge from him, we all go with all ready mind and body and intellect, everything sharpened, and we sit in front of him and we acquire the knowledge from him. So all these Shatashaha, the ladies, it can be we also. We run to him to get the knowledge from such a realized, enlightened person by making our mind and intellect sharp so that we can have his jnana coming to us. So now do you understand how Shankaracharya is giving us so much of insight with the same 4 lines? Depending on our depth of understanding, keenness to go deep into the shloka, it keeps giving us more and more and more layers of meaning. So I hope you all will have time energy and that liking to know more about the each shloka, and thus you can go deeper to any extent, and you all can share it with all others what you were understanding. That would be wonderful. So let's end today's class with this and take the mandala for this. Compassionate form of Devi, Phala, power to attract others and cures impotency and brings immense knowledge. Om Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. 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 Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om.